What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now today, we're going to be going ahead and checking out the future of the Call of Duty franchise. But before we get into this topic, just very quickly, I want to let you guys know, if you want to check out any of my other social media platforms, besides YouTube, of course, I do have a Twitch channel, which I live stream on every single day besides Sundays. I have a Twitter account, which I try to tweet pretty frequently. I'm not that big on social media. I don't really care for it that much, so I don't tweet that often. But if you want to hit me in the DMs, talk to me behind the scenes, or even just discuss anything video games, Twitter is a fantastic way to do so. And I also have a Discord channel as well, which we usually go ahead and post, leaked information about Call of Duty or Battlefield. We have a great community over there. And also, I notify you guys when my streams go live on Discord as well. So if you guys want to go ahead and check out any of my social media outlets, I have links to all of those things down in the description. But ladies and gentlemen, enough with all that crap. I know exactly what you came to this video for, and that is Call of Duty information. Now, as we all know, Sledgehammer Games has been a support team for the Call of Duty franchise almost since the beginning of time, honestly. They have been helping assist these developers like Treyarch and Infinity Ward with their own games. But over some time, eventually, Activision gave them the role of being a head development team. That started off with Advanced Warfare, and we all know how that went. Now, again, I'm not here to bash anybody. I know everybody had their own opinions about games like Advanced Warfare and World War II, and also, like you see right here, Vanguard. Personally, a lot of these games turned out to be absolute flops. Sledgehammer Games, I think, to me personally, is one of those development teams that just was never consistent when it came to my love for the franchise. When they were supporting the other development teams, it was fine, but when they went out of their own way to make their own titles, it was just a struggle for me to enjoy them. Advanced Warfare was the first Call of Duty game I've ever sold. I never, ever, ever sold a Call of Duty game in my whole life. I'll complain about them, I'll hate certain games, I'll even stop playing certain games, but never once have I sold a Call of Duty title until Advanced Warfare came around. Then World War II came out once again, proving me even more right that Sledgehammer Games does not make any good Call of Duty titles anymore, because World War II at launch was, once again, a disaster. Again, let's speak my own mind. Other people might not share the same opinions. I'm not bashing you in any type of way. I'm just sharing my own personal thoughts of these titles. But World War II to me was horrifying. It was so freaking bad. Obviously, after the overhaul happened, once they replaced some of the head developers at that studio, and they got a few things, in the works, the game became a lot better. I enjoy World War II current day, but in its prime, just like Advanced Warfare, I was so close to selling that title. If I didn't have a digital version of the game, if it was a physical copy, I probably would have sold the title, to be honest with you guys. And then Vanguard. Here we are, current day, with another Sledgehammer game, once again proving to me that Sledgehammer Games just can't make a good Call of Duty title. Because Vanguard, to me personally, is a Modern Warfare reskin. To me personally, Activision put Sledgehammer Games in charge of this game to give Modern Warfare 2 some more time. This game was never supposed to be out. Modern Warfare 2 should have already been in our hands right now as we speak, but because they needed a little bit more assistance, they need a little bit more time to perfect everything. Obviously, as we know, Warzone 2 is coming out. They have a Hazard Zone style game mode coming out in that game. They're obviously going to have a campaign. They're going to have the multiplayer experience. They have a lot of stuff they need to work on. So Activision put Sledgehammer Games out to make Vanguard to be pretty much a placeholder game, to give Infinity Ward some extra time to create their masterpiece. That's why, for a lot of players, Vanguard is playable. Because it's literally Modern Warfare, which was a playable game, a great engine, great gameplay. But the reason Modern Warfare flopped for a lot of individuals is because they changed too many core mechanics from the Call of Duty formula. Vanguard is literally Modern Warfare with those core mechanics reintroduced back into the game. That's why it's partially playable. But it's no excuse for the lack of creativity. It's a lazy title. And my problem is when Sledgehammer is creative, like Advanced Warfare and World War II, it's a flop. So, 3 strikes, you're out at this point. That's how I feel. 3 strikes, you're out. Advanced Warfare, World War II, Vanguard, I hated each and every one. I'm done. I don't care for Sledgehammer Games, and personally, I feel like Activision shouldn't care for Sledgehammer Games. They should just put them back on as a support studio to make the future titles even better. But sadly, it seems like that's not the case. Over on Twitter, Tom Henderson put out a tweet. Actually, it was an article that he put together, but he also tweeted it out. If you guys don't know, Tom Henderson goes on multiple different websites and puts out articles of information about Call of Duty, Battlefield, stuff like that. But he said, shocker, Sledgehammer Games is developing a new Call of Duty title. Now, for those who don't know, the rumor right now is that Call of Duty is going on an every 2-year cycle. So basically every other year, a Call of Duty game will release. Instead of yearly, it will be 2 years in between each game. So initially, a lot of people thought, well, you know what? 2 years in between each game, Sledgehammer's getting cut. We're going to go back to the original cycle, just Treyarch and Infinity Ward. Sledgehammer will be the support studio. We'll get some really fire games. But little do we know, we are still going to have to suffer through a Sledgehammer title, and on top of that, it's not even going to be a year cycle title. We're going to have to play a Sledgehammer Games title for 2 years until we get to play another game made by either Treyarch or Infinity Ward. This right here is one of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen, because like I said, they haven't done anything successful. Every time a Sledgehammer Games product releases, it is the worst year for COD. Advanced Warfare, one of the worst years for COD. Maybe MLG was popping, but pub matches sucked. World War II sucked. Social media, the hype around the game in general sucks. Every Sledgehammer Games title is the least hyped up COD game every single time they release. Vanguard, once again, completely unhyped. This is the most dead I've ever seen. I actually saw the Dynamite, one of the homies, put out a tweet saying, is this the most dead we've ever seen the Call of Duty franchise? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, it is. This is literally the most dead I've ever seen multiplayer to date. And it's not an accident. This is obviously on purpose. Like I said, do you think it's logical to make another World War II game after just having a World War II game like 3, maybe 4 years ago? There's no time in between. Sledgehammer Games just put one together. Like, how much different content can they put out from World War II to this game? You know what I'm saying? How many different weapon streaks and everything? Like, we're getting recycled streaks. Like, the ball turret gunner was literally in World War II on day 1. And they released the ball turret gunner as DLC in Vanguard after it's literally in World War II day. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Again, it's on purpose to build hype for Modern Warfare 2. Sledgehammer Games is not meant to be a head development team. They were always meant to be a support team. Even when they make big titles like this, mainstream titles, it's still for support for the future titles. I even saw a tweet on Twitter by the GOAT, 42 Thunder. I didn't even know this, but apparently 6 months after release, they're finally fixing the spawns in Vanguard. 6 months! So you tell me, if a development team takes 6 months to fix spawns, I'm not talking about blitz, I'm talking about tactical pacing, 6v6 pacing. If it took them 6 months to fix people from spawning in front of you in a game mode with 12 individuals, not 20, not 30, just 12 people, if you tell me it took 6 months for that, you want this development team to have 2 years of production time on a game? 2 years? No! I am all for skipping the yearly release cycle of Call of Duty. I have been begging for this for ages. This has been one of my biggest main talking points on this channel, is pushing Call of Duty off of the yearly cycle. I mean, I have a tweet pinned on my Twitter account. It's literally my most popular tweet ever, discussing that literally yearly cycles will kill Call of Duty. So trust me, hearing that this, every other year cycle is coming to Call of Duty is probably the best news I've heard in ages. But hearing that Sledgehammer Games is still producing in that cycle is not good news at all. And with all honesty, if they're doing the 2-year cycle, they don't need Sledgehammer to, build up hype for the next title, because that is what the 2-year cycle is for. The whole purpose of skipping a Call of Duty game for, the yearly cycle and then pushing it back to 2-3 years being released, the whole purpose behind that is to build up the hype. The reason hype is dying for this franchise is because people, including me myself, have been buying and playing this game yearly since the first dang game. And it's hard for us. I'll be honest. It's hard for a hardcore Call of Duty fan to skip out on a Call of Duty release when it feels like it's second nature to be a part of this. I've been going to midnight releases and grinding this game with my friends since I was a kid. This is just second nature to get into Call of Duty. So for a lot of people, the only way they can build up hype or get people to take a break is by not releasing a game. So this 2-year cycle is already going to build up the hype enough. We don't need Sledgehammer Games to come in with some bad title to build up the hype, because it's going to kill the game even more. It's going to be no hype for 2 years straight. And we're going to have to wait for Infinity Ward and Treyarch to come pick up the slack. This is just a recipe for disaster. And maybe I'm wrong. Because Sledgehammer Games, like I said, they have been a support team for a long time. They have been a team who builds up hype for future development teams to, come out and bring their games out. So, maybe, with this extra time that they have, they can finally make their own title. You know, they've never really been able to branch out because World War II was a flop. It failed. They had to overhaul. Vanguard was a last-second decision. Pretty much every single time they come into production, it has to be last second. So maybe this extra time will be good for them, but I don't believe. I mean, come on now. Black Ops Cold War. Treyarch had to literally come and save Sledgehammer Games from that. Treyarch had to come and save the day. They had to come and save the day with Vanguard. Treyarch is making Vanguard zombies. Sledgehammer Games literally is not competent enough to make all 3 modes. That is a standard in Call of Duty to have 3 modes. You have your campaign, you have multiplayer, and you have your side mode. Whether it's Spec Ops, zombies, it doesn't matter. Survival, it literally doesn't matter. It's 3 modes in every COD game. And one development team has always made all 3. And for the first time in the history of the whole franchise, Sledgehammer cannot make their side mode? You see what I'm saying here? Something is off. Something is sus. I don't trust this whole process. I don't with Sledgehammer Games. Hopefully this is resolved in the future, and hopefully this leak is not true. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. If I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat me, there's 2 ways to do so. I have Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games and over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.